Hi. Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Since you produced that opening video, I'm going to invite you to reproduce. My name is still spelled wrong.
So
That's okay.
I humbly apologize.
You don't have to apologize. Just fix it. No,
I did fix it. I didn't upload the new one.
Yeah. Hi, Steph.
Yes. Hi, Johnathan. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. My eyes are blurry.
We are here in full force, you guys. We are ready. We are fired up and free. That's from Wake Up, Say Thank You. We are bringing that energy to this experience and expression. So today we are here to rant. Dr. Jay-Z and the Saint are here to have a radically affirmative new thought with and for each and every one, because we are one mind.
Yes.
And so we invite you to connect with us in the comments and all that good stuff. So Reverend Dr. Johnathan Zenz, he's the spiritual leader of Unity of Tucson and doing some great things over there. What a joy. And you had something up. You have an advertisement?
What?
Is that for later? Freedom? Dance freedom or something?
Oh, no. So here in Unity, well, okay. If you want me to put it up, I'll put it up. I took it down.
Sure.
So let's see. So our friend Sherry, who's actually on with us, this is something that she offers at Unity of Tucson, Dance Zen, a freeform dance experience where it's an opportunity to focus on freedom of movement, self-expression, where you get to be you, spontaneous, unrestricted. It's wonderful. It's a great experience. Anyway, it's the first Saturday of every month, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. here at Unity.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's an in-person experience. So if you're in Tucson, come check it out.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
And then get a Sherry hug as well, I bet.
Yeah, Sherry's a great hugger. Hi, Sherry.
So, of course, you all, a lot of you know me from One Love Awakening, and we wake up and say thank you together all the time. We have a program coming out. Registration is going to be opening quite soon. We're basing a new program on, it's called Lead Your Best Life, the 15 commitments to living a radically spiritual life. So we're incorporating the 15 commitments of conscious leadership and the science of mind together to boldly ignite a profound spiritual experience in our awakened state throughout our day. So the best person you can lead is yourself. And so that is registration is going to be opening probably by Monday at the latest.
Love that.
So we are excited about that. Yeah. In the house with us, hey Andy, I love to hear from the experts. Thank you. We love ranting.
Yes.
Absolutely. Val, good morning. Yay, I found it. So happy to be here with you. Absolutely good to be here with you. Yes, and we have a hello from Sherry. If you are watching, and don't be shy. Don't be shy if you're watching. Let us know you're watching in the comments where you're watching from. What is a radically affirmative new thought you want to talk about? If you have a topic or a concept or a question that has been burning in your metaphysical mind, we want to know that. We want to dive in deep.
Yeah. This morning on my mindful moment, and I do a live video, as many of you know, I do a live video at 9 a.m. Arizona time every single weekday. The funny thing is on Fridays, Steph and I usually connect at 9 a.m. Arizona time when it's not when she's on daylight savings. Because it changes, because Arizona doesn't change. So on Fridays, it's always a pre-record. But this morning, I did I talked about this book that I have, Jesus, Buddha, the Parallel Sayings, and was talking about the nature of the present moment. That was what today's radically affirmative new thought was for me, was present moment awareness. And
yes,
and the parallels of various faith traditions that offer that very notion. And I love talking about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I love being in the moment. And we know the moment is all we have. Like if we're spending time in worry or doubt, we are thinking outside of this moment. And there's such good things happening right here if we're present.
Yeah. One of the thoughts I had about being present moment as well is one of the things we talk about within the New Thought movement is that the only potential for discord exists within the construct and the ideas of separation, right? We feel we're separate from one another. If we feel we're separate from the divine, if we feel separation in any way, we are opening ourselves up to the potential for discord in our lives. Well, that for me, being in the past or the future, that's separation from the present moment. So it's kind of the nth degree of that very idea and notion. So if we're truly being in the present moment, I think what I find usually in the present moment is grace. I find peace. I find joy. And I am not deriving it from the external circumstances. I am actually impressing it upon the external circumstances of my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that moment is, for me, is freedom. Like that's my go-to word a lot. The being in the present moment allows me to remain a free, able-bodied mind.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a comment here from Anne.
Hi, Anne. I know Anne.
Yes, I'm here from California and brought my mind along. I love that.
Yes. Anne is part of James Mellon's spiritual community.
Oh, wonderful. Love it.
Yeah.
Global truth. And there's my mom. Good morning.
I was going to say, this person must be related to you.
Hi, Mom. Good to see you.
Hi, Mom.
And Anne says, and always my heart. So mind and heart are here. Absolutely. That is wonderful. That totally goes in with being present, right? Being present. When we can be present in this moment, just think of all the stuff we wouldn't have in our life that we've created, like the suffering, the pain, the illusion. When we live in that stuff, if we are present for this moment, we have the place in our mind to respond instead of react. Right? You don't owe anyone a response or a reaction. You owe yourself a breath and to be present in this moment. And to just be clear right here. You just take away all of that stuff that is circulating around you, when instead of living in that past or worrying about that future, being here right now, we can engage and participate with the moment with an open mind and a willing heart. I'm
just taking that in. I'm soaking it all in.
Hey, Lee. Hello, Lee. Playful strings. Yes. So anyone? What do you want to rant about? Jonathan's got some books by his side. If we need a quote, if we need to start, yeah. I know I was saying this week on Wake Up that all of my consciousness study books, all of my New Thought, metaphysics, right here at arm's length. And so I love just grabbing something and just reading a paragraph and finding the goodie in it.
So I just pulled out the Edinburgh Lectures by Thomas Troward, and I opened up to a random page, and this is what jumps out at me. You ready?
Yes.
The universal can never be individual. That would be a contradiction in terms. But because the universal personalness is the root of all individual personalities, it finds its highest expression in response to those who realize its personal nature. You know what I love about this? So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. What? Is we get a bad rap in New Thought sometimes, right? We get a bad rap that it's a cold faith tradition because we talk about the impersonal nature of the universal creative source and that everything, that the law is impersonal. It's just giving you what you put into it. And we forget that it's actually intimately personal. This entire philosophy is intimately personal because we are the personal factor. We are the personalness of the divine. And so this is basically speaking to me in that way. We are using the universal personally, and what could be more personal than that?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Again, it's freedom.
Yeah.
That there isn't some Mayan Heidi something like that I could disappoint or frustrate or anger. There isn't some governing body over me. And I can participate in my life with an intimate relationship with my highest self, that consciousness within me that allows, for God doesn't forgive. We have to forgive. It's the human experience. So personalizing, it's a divine personhood, right? It's the divine personhood.
It's so funny that you mentioned forgiveness, because that came up in my class I was teaching last night, the notion of forgiveness. And at Unity of Tucson, just like in James Mellon's spiritual community, we've adopted as our mission statement here: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And a lot of people get tripped up on that second part, forgive everything. Like, love only, hey, I can get behind that, right? Love only, woo, forgive everything. But what about that person over there? Or we can really go into whataboutism around that, and remember who you are. Well, the thing that I always like to remind people of, and this is what came up, is that, like you said, God doesn't need to forgive. And so when we master spiritual understanding, when we know the truth of who we are, when we allow ourselves to acknowledge and exhibit that truth, forgiveness takes care of itself, because if we know that we are the divine, then there is no need for forgiveness. Now that is in the infinite, that is in the absolute. There may be a practice of forgiveness in the relative, but that practice of forgiveness is always turning back to self-forgiveness, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my oh so humble opinion, the only work I am doing is in myself. You can't walk around fixing other people. You can't help other people. Like, you're not helping other people by saying, wake up, what's in your consciousness? You are helping people by living your best self and doing better when you learn better. That's the human experience, right? Is getting to that place of remembering who we are. Remembering, I ain't broken.
No.
There is nothing broken in me. All of that stuff that was in my past has been fertilizer that has bountifully given me the life that I am living right here and right now, because I was strong enough, brave enough, capable enough, and divine enough to find all of that, discover who I was. And one of the biggest things I had to do was learn how to forgive myself.
Yeah.
Forgiveness isn't about anyone else. It's about how is forgiveness showing up inside of your body, because the physical form, our physical bodies, we are energy.
Right.
And in that energy, our muscles and our organs and our tissues, they vibrate at whatever frequency we are heading towards. So here's one thing, the sentence that I am challenged with. I forgive, but don't forget.
So here's the thing about that. I actually have a construct around this.
Okay, great.
Because I hold this to be so. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, because forgiveness is not excusing behavior. So they're different things entirely. Oftentimes I think we smush those two things together. If I'm going to forgive, then I have to excuse the behavior. You do not have to excuse behavior. If people are acting poorly, that is your relationship to that poor action is your responsibility. That's challenging for some people to hear, but you do not need to forget. You do not need to excuse behavior. Forgiving for me is, what is it that I am for giving? What am I giving of myself in this relationship? And for me, the only thing to ever truly give is my love. And so forgiveness is an ultimate act of love. I'm going to be forgiving of my love. Forgetting is the opposite. It's me trying to derive from the circumstances by an idea of, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it be so. And now I expect something from you in relationship to that. So I'm forgetting love, right? And so I let go of the notion of forgetting. I'm not going to excuse behavior, but I can be forgiving and express my infinite love, which is mine to express.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly. And it goes to what you and I were talking about earlier this morning about like I am teaching people how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
Right. And so um I'm not going to forget what you did kind of thing is really in my past, in from my personal experience. I will then have this piece of cake and hold it over you when something else comes up.
Right. That's not
Right.
forgiveness.
That's not forgiveness. That's not forgiveness. No. So how I relate to this is that I am teaching other people how I want to be treated, and I deserve to be treated respectfully and with kindness. And so if something's coming up, there's an opportunity, that that is just how you respond, right? So I really believe there's nothing to forgive. That's my thing. So forgiveness is the human energy of releasing and letting go. And so being able to teach people how I want to be treated, that means I get to be respectful and kind when I'm engaging with someone who has wronged me.
Right. And that letting go is a letting go of past paradigms as well. So forgiveness is actually a practice of present moment awareness and livingness. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm truly living in the present, then I am in an infinite state of peace and grace. And it is not related to anything that has happened to me in my past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Lee's been putting comments in.
Yeah.
And it's great. I didn't even see this comment until after I said this. Oh, I got to do some glasses, you guys. Oh my goodness.
We were talking glasses this morning.
There was a huge fight the other day where he asked if I could forgive him. And I said, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget what happened. Right. Yes. And then they continue, forgiving gives me peace to move past it. Forgetting it makes it go away and it will happen again. Yeah. Okay. Forgetting, I think forgetting is different than letting it happen again. Right? Because that's their responsibility. If it happens again, if you're having the same argument over and over again, or the person is continuously pushing that same button, that's on you. We have the responsibility to say that is not okay. Yeah. That how you're treating me is not okay. And we need to address this experience in a conscious way, right? Evolve into this being a conscious evolution for the both of you. Whatever argument, whatever is happening, it is happening for the both of you. And this, how we engage with the other, because there is no other.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, if you have a button to be pushed, you're the one who installed the button to begin with.
Yes.
No one else installed that button. And that's the hard part, because people are like, oh, but I don't want to be, because they'll hear that and be like, blame, right? Like, I'm blaming you for having the button to begin with. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that awareness is an awareness of empowerment, because when I realized, oh, I'm the one who installed that button that's within me that somebody else is pushing, then I get to deactivate the button. It's not up to anyone else to deactivate the button. I get to deactivate the button, because I don't need to live with this construct that is pushable, so to speak. Right? I don't need to live within that. And so, I think about one of the members of my community who told me the story, and I come back to this story all the time. Who, she's been a member of various New Thought spiritual communities in various states, as she's moved around, and she's a member of my community here now. And she had, when she was back in another state, she was going to this spiritual community, and she brought a friend with her, right? Sometimes people bring friends to the Sunday morning celebration, and the friend sat there and went through the whole thing. And at the end, as they were leaving, she said, I can't go back there because they want me to work on myself. And it's like they want me to actually take responsibility for my life. And that's one of the things that I think is so important to me, and what drew me into the New Thought paradigm is that it's not about having anything outside the self that I can cast blame upon for the aspects of my life that don't feel so good. It's me giving up the notion that I can blame God for anything in my life. There is no blame. There's only the capacity to respond in the moment to whatever you're experiencing. That's ultimate responsibility. How shall I choose to move forward in this moment?
Yes. How shall I choose to move forward in this moment? And give yourself the opportunity to take that breath. Like like I said, we do not owe anyone a response. Mm-mm. We can take a breath and say, how am I showing up in this moment? How am I engaging with this energy? What is mine to do here? Because I find myself, maybe not so much in the last year or so, but in my experience, in my historical imprint, I'm a teacher, right? So I find teaching opportunities, even if the person didn't ask, right? Like really what it is saying is that I know better than you know. And so here I'm going to take this opportunity to school you so that I can feel holy and mighty and good. Yeah. And really what it is, wow, they're having an experience right now. How can I support them in this experience? With loving kindness. I mean, I'm the founder of One Love Awakening. So that's my go-to. How can I wake up love in this moment?
And freeing ourselves from the notion that we have to impress upon them our opinion or our judgment about their experience.
Yeah.
To me, that is kind of how we exhibit grace. Grace is a word that is misunderstood a lot because people are like, what does that really mean? I think for me, that's what grace is really all about. It's about being unconditionally loving, free of opinion or judgment about what somebody else is going through. And also turning that and mirroring it to ourselves, being free and loving without judgment about what we're experiencing. Because I could have a lot of opinions and judgments about what I am experiencing in my life. Whew. And that is not me and that's not me being an experience of grace for myself. So
I love the word grace.
Yeah.
It's just that free flowing, unconditional acceptance, like that thing that is beyond being tolerant or okay. Grace is something that is just in and through and as absolutely everything. And there is again, like we are just here to work on ourselves. There is only one. I say this all the time, the healing that I do for myself. And I am willing. I walked into the New Thought. My first New Thought community was the Center for Conscious Living here in Winnipeg. Probably about 16 years ago. I walked in, they said, you're responsible for your life. And I said, sign me up. Let me take classes so I know what to do about that. It's because I had been living in separation and chaos and illusion.
Right. So I thank you for that because you're responsible for your life. But they also New Thought communities, I think, also take the next step of you're responsible for your life. And here are tools. Here are spiritual tools that will invite you to know how to take responsibility and actually activate your life in a different direction. There's a lot of comments coming through.
Yes. And there is some good long ones. Sherry said, oh, glasses.
Yeah, well, I can read it. I have my glasses on. Kind of like when adults try to tell youth how they should be living their lives. I often say, I do not know your life, but I do know what it was like when I was a teen. Yes.
Yeah, I know. This is like where I'm at now. I've been a minister for over 10 years and, doing this work for 16. And we don't know. We don't know what's in anyone's life, but we can be relatable, right? We can be relatable because we have had experiences. Pain is pain.
Yeah.
Right. And so each and every one of us has a unique experience of that. It's not a pain is universal if we're looking outwardly and seeing that things are causing harm.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people think, oh, well, my harm was greater than your harm, and so therefore you didn't experience harm.
Yeah.
And that's, that's not kosher for me in the sense, because I back in the day, I had depression and anxiety, and
Mhm.
I showed up to a free counseling. I went to free counseling because that's what I could afford at the time. This was like 25 years ago. And the counselor said, so how you doing? And I was like, I'm fine, with this huge smile on my face. She's like, well, what brings you in? And I was like, just, I don't know. And she was like, so we did some exercises to draw out from me, that I've been in abusive relationships. I've been assaulted. I've been there's things that have caused harm, but I didn't believe that I was worthy enough to call it harm because I did not value myself. And so I was compared there, like I was not those other people who have experienced great harm. I was this little person experiencing a little piece of harm. And it's just, and she said, wow, you deserve to be in this counseling session just like anybody. We all deserve to speak our stuff into a space and feel heard. And I was like, what? Like, my problems are problems? Oh my goodness. And so the combination of that and science of mind and new thought teachings means I get to be responsible for cleaning up that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's worth it. The work that we do on ourselves is worth it, because I believe that about every single human being on this planet. If you are here, living, breathing, having your being in this realm of experience, you are deserving and worthy of this life.
Right. Well, I also take that to another step and say, if you are here on purpose, with purpose, and for a purpose.
Yeah.
That you matter just because of your beingness.
Yeah.
And that this world would be incomplete without your participation in it.
Yeah. And the world needs people like Dr. Jay-Z and St. Steph reminding everyone of their magnificence.
Yeah.
Those who, like Bob Proctor talks about it all the time, those who get it need to share it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we add on to our responsibility. When you are waking up, when you have learned how to forgive because you know that there's nothing to forgive and everything's going to be okay, then you get to the opportunity to be exemplified out into the world as someone who's forgiving.
Yeah.
But like, oh my goodness, when we are joyful and joy in the work, joy in taking responsibility, joy in being accountable, joy in the heavy lifting, joy in all of that, we are exemplifying that, so that everyone around us goes like, oh, it must be, if Steph's doing it, must be easy. I should read a book. I should take a class. I should join a program. I should get to it.
Yeah.
Because, that age old, it's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because, just like gardening after a strong rain, you're going to get muddy. If you are willing to dive deep and get to the roots of the stuff, the baggage that you've packed, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it. You are worth it.
There's a long comment here. I just want to see if we can acknowledge it for a moment. So
yes.
Anita said, for me, the idea that I created my buttons became more palatable when I redefined it as something I perceived as bad happened, and I made a decision about it that keeps showing up in my life. Even though I may not remember the original event or the decision, and since I don't like the feelings that come up when that happens, I can re-examine my decisions. We are empowered in every moment to re-examine our decisions. And this actually goes right back to where we started with, if we are allowing ourselves to be fully immersed in the present moment, let go of past paradigms that are not serving us. And oftentimes I think we get into this thing, and I want another like hour to just talk about this stuff with you, Steph.
Let's do it.
If we are allowing ourselves to fully live in the present moment, I think oftentimes we give this idea that we've got to leave the past in the past a bad rap, because here's the thing. There are lots of amazing, great things that happened in my past that I am going to choose to carry into my present moment. It's not just all about all the crap from my past that I gotta let that go. It's also about recognizing and knowing what is it that I choose to carry.
Absolutely.
What is it that I choose to carry in my present moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All of my past, the totality of every preceding moment has birthed the light I am today.
Yes.
All of it, the sticky, and the sweet. All
and
of it.
The majority of my past has been amazing.
Yeah.
So why do I let the weight be on the side that is the minority? That's what I'm looking to let go of. Let go of the minority ideas that I keep carrying and giving weight to in my life.
That's a whole other rant. Why do we have the minority carry the weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy's saying, I am getting so much from this. Thank you guys. You are so welcome. And what Anita was just saying there too reminds me of Charles Fillmore. He said, was it Charles Fillmore?
Yeah.
I reserve the right to change my mind. I reserve the right to change my mind.
That's the whole point of view of New Thought. The work we are doing is the work of changing our own minds.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
I might make a decision today, and tomorrow I might be like, you know what? That's not going to work for me. And we need to learn to be okay with changing our own minds, because often if we're trying to convince ourselves of staying put in something, even though if we just let that thing go, if we change our mind about that thing, life would change. Everything would change. But we like to hang on to our stuff.
Oh,
tie it down. There's a wind coming.
Oh my. Yeah. Let it blow away. That's what
Yes. So Leah's saying, if my past didn't happen the way it did, I would not be who I am now. So would I change my past? No. Thankfully, we can't, right? Thankfully, we can't.
We can't.
Everything. I said this all the time. Everything before us is for us. So it's, just keep trusting with absolute faith that there is something divine in this moment.
Yes. And oftentimes I see people come into our sphere of influence as spiritual communities trying to actually change their past. People do try to change their past. And what I say is you can't change it, but there is actually something you can change. And that is your relationship to it.
Absolutely.
You can change your relationship to the past. You can redefine what those circumstances mean for you. I have redefined the toxic relationship that I was in 25 years ago, the toxic, abusive relationship that I was in. I have redefined it in my life, and I don't regret having had the experience because I made the decision to learn from it so I don't repeat it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Learn from the oopses.
Learn from the oopses, yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Johnathan. You and I really could just talk for hours about all of this stuff.
Yeah, we could.
So it's fun that people are here with us. We are so blessed for all of that. We are gonna keep it to like 30 minutes, but maybe every now and then we'll do like a special hour-long feature or something. I don't know. We can do lots of stuff because this banner says, oh, where's the banner? On when we want to be on.
Right. Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because I want to acknowledge, so we've had people question like, hey, when are you going to be on with the rant again, right? And I would say at minimum, the first Friday of every month is our plan. But you never know. Keep an eye out. Hit that bell if you're on YouTube so that you get notifications. Follow on Facebook so you get notifications, because you never know when Steph and I might decide we want to rant.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, because we love to rant.
We do.
We love to rant. I love working up a sweat in consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes.
My big thing is I get to go work up a sweat today by cleaning my house once we're done here. In anticipation, so my husband has been in Canada for 2 weeks, and I have lived the bachelor life. Our place is a disaster right now, so I need to go clean before he gets home.
Oh my goodness. I am the opposite. If Tammy goes away, my house is spotless because I'm like, oh, I get to clean finally. Yeah. Deep rooting.
I might have done that, except well, many of you will know that last week I had the worst head cold I've had in probably 20 years. I don't know what, and I don't tend to get sick in that way anymore. But all I could do was basically be home, order food in, and just like veg and sleep as much as possible. So yeah. Sherry says, I bet you have talked for hours. We have, and we do. Steph and I talk all the time.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, we're going over 10 years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Next year will be the 20th anniversary for my coming into New Thought and making a decision to go down the spiritual path of ministry.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're so young.
I am so young, and so are you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm as
young
as I think I am.
I joke all the time about being an old man, but I know that I am youthing. I am not aging.
I'm youthing. I love that. Awesome. Okay, beloveds, we so appreciate your time, your energy, your consciousness, and being a part of this conversation. If you have ideas, concepts, and things you would like us to rant about, please feel free to reach out to either one of us. Dr. Jay-Z is at Unity of Tucson, so you can.
That's actually.
There you go.
Happens to be there.
Yes. Let's see.
I don't think yours is. I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm back over on One Love's thing.
Yeah.
Branding. I'm on the rant. Oh, but my banners. So that's where you can find me, oneloveawakening.com.
Awesome.
That's, Steph at oneloveawakening.com is right how you get me. And so we love hearing your feedback. We love each and every one of you. And we are so grateful to be in this life together with all of you all. So until we get to see you again, I love you.
And I love you.
And I bless you.
And I bless you.
And have an awesome day being awesome. We still need to do an outro video little thing, but until then, until then.
Stay magnificent. Know that you are worthy of magnificence because it's the core of your being. Just shine your light.
Shine your light. Peace.